Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy. I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I'm going to talk to you about another underrated gem, Anton Fuqua's The Tears of the Sun, starring Bruce Willis, Monica Bellucci, what's that? And Tom Skerritt. Yeah, it's a story about a not a recon mission. It's a mission where was it U.S. Navy SEAL soldiers travel somewhere in Africa to retrieve a doctor, a famous Italian doctor, from the outskirts somewhere in the African village and bring her back home until her church that she takes refugee at and helps the people around is unfortunately murdered. Bruce Willis and his team, mostly Bruce Willis, decides to go back and have her patients to be taken on the helicopter while they try to find other means to travel back to their rendezvous on foot while avoiding the enemy that's building up a freaking army. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, I did not unfortunately see this film in theaters, and it's funny that this is actually an ongoing debate. Did I? Did I not? I don't believe I have. But Dad believes that we did. Well, if I didn't, he did. He went to go watch it in the theater. I didn't. He bought the VHS. I watched it. I was curious about it, and it was pretty awesome. Really awesome. And this is probably one of the best Bruce Willis movies. And I'm gonna just tell you straight up, Anton Fuqua's underrated, bro. Like this dude knows how to do action. He knows how to do drama. He does action better than drama, but he knows how to balance the two. And he knows how to to really discuss dark, gritty action thrillers with a human with having a touch of a human heart to it. Like he really knows how to tell a good emotional action movie. This is a war film to its core, but it's one. I think it's inspired based. I think it's inspired from some tree events. I don't think the movie is entirely accurate, but Bruce Willis he plays A.K. Walters. I don't know what AK is abbreviated for, but he plays the lead of the Navy SEAL team, really dedicated to his mission, and he's kind of brought upon as this emotionless soldier. But once he sees, even though he's aware, but he doesn't want to deviate from the mission. But once he sees the struggle that Monica Bellucci's character, her and what her patients are going through, he really has a change of heart, and that was really a an emotional point to the movie to see a character who was taught to be motionless, but still to its core has a heart, has some sort of kindness and remorse for his victims. And it's interesting to see his character disobey orders and put his team at risk, who's also on Bruce Willis's side and believe that they should be doing well, some of them, but to the some of the SEAL members that believe like we shouldn't do this. Deep down in their core, they know they should be doing the right thing. Well, they believe to be doing the right thing by exchanging places and try to rendezvous with their base or to this little refugee camp somewhere else on foot, knowing the potential dangers, but also knowing that they can also fight. most of the refugees, well, most of the villagers can't fight. And I like there's a little twist in the movie where one of the villagers is actually a prince of a potential political who's supposed to take the lead to run the country, and he's been hiding in the camp ever since because they're out. There's some rebels that are out to murder him, and these rebels are vicious to the point where they really portray themselves as cold, heartless, and you see evil. You see evil. It's actually kind of scary. Hans Zimmer's score for this film, underrated. One of his best scores. I think maybe his top 10 scores. I know he's scored a lot, but it's probably my maybe top five or top six. There's so many. I need to probably put down one of my favorite scores from Hans Zimmer because he's legendary. Though some of his scores sound similar to other movies he's done, this one really kind of stood out. Like I could really like, man, there are quite a few good scenes I really loved in this film. I love the scene where they make it to the helicopter, where Bruce Willis promises Monica Bellucci's character that they'll take the refugees, they'll bring them along, and Monica is not. Her character is being ignorant and does not and will not leave her patients behind because if she does, they will get killed. So they rendezvous to this helicopter destination, and Bruce Willis basically straight up lied to her. It's like, no, we're gonna lead him. Like I just said yes, just so you could come with me to this rendezvous and we can get you out of here. And she goes ballistic, and Bruce Willis picks her up and takes her to the helicopter, and they leave the villages there, and she starts being sad. And then and then the helicopter, and the scene's on YouTube. The helicopter flies over the church village that they were at, and then seeing the massacre of her people dying or dead on the floor, which is a heartbreaking scene. The music adds to this scene. Oh my, you have no idea. It adds to the it adds to the moment of this scene really well, and you feel the loss, the just hopelessness in that scene, and it really Monica Bellucci, she was amazing in this. Your heart sinks, your heart literally sinks, and then Bruce Willis looks at her and then looks at his fellow soldiers and decides to turn the helicopter around to return to the same exact spot and basically having the refugees carry as much as they can, mostly the women and children, mostly the children, out of danger's way. And then the final, my God, there's some pretty good scenes in here. I can't heart wrenching, but some pretty good intense scenes in here. Anton Fuqua, you underrated as hell, bro. Man, you, Anton Fuqua deserves more recognition, man. I'm just gonna say it. He deserves more recognition as a filmmaker. It's unbelievable. Um, the final war scene, one of the best action scenes I've ever seen in any film. So thrilling. The music delivers too much emotion. Na 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 na. One of the best military movies, bro. Na 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 na. One of the best military movies. I'm gonna tell you right now. Actually, that's another list I'm gonna put down. Probably my top 10 military movies because I'm gonna tell you, like this one should have gotten more recognition. I think the movie bombed. I think it bombed. There's no way in hell this movie should have bombed. And it sucks for movies that try to go dramatic like this, they tend to bomb. Oh, nobody wants a depressing in a movie. Well, that's your preference. But this movie shouldn't have bombed, bro. I think the budget. I think it barely surpassed its budget, but it was quite forgettable. Thank God my dad bought this movie because otherwise I don't think I would have known about it. Though I wish I kind of saw more character development from the other villagers, even though they're not the focus of the story. It's Bruce Willis and Monica Bellucci and some of the other soldiers. I felt like some of the characters in the village could have more screen time. One particular lady, like I actually had a feeling she was gonna be had a this certain character. She talks to Monica Bellucci quite a bit in the movie, but I thought her character would have had more screen time. I kind of wish she did because it felt her character could have been relevant to the story. But that's not the story. The story is about these guys trying to rescue these people. So, this movie's underrated. Let me know if you've seen this film. Comment below. Let me know if you have seen Tears of the Sun, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.